10 years.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If one particular class is a 50-50 split, but then the next class is a 60-40, we're always scrambling to get caught up.
Okay, that's right, because we're not buying new books every year. Spouse?
Yeah, I think that the idea of trying to learn from the screen is very difficult. You get to transfer back and forth where if you're in the learning mode, you know, you look on this page, and now you look back and what did I read over here, and that is very difficult to do on screen.
Yeah.
At least it is for me. Of course, at my age, there are a lot of people who don't even look at the screen, but the idea of trying to do it on screen is very difficult. I know that, you know, when you try to edit text, in fact, on screen, sometimes it's difficult. So I think that the value of the book is still there. It will be forever.
And I think I'm trying to cover all of the bases. I think we need to be prepared to supply all of the learners. So what having the online options does is it does allow for the kids who are comfortable to go home and use the online resources. And a lot of them you'll see in the bio are extensions.
Right.
Right. And then not
But
carry the books.
Right.
To go home and read 50 pages of anything online, I think you should probably also do the survey of the print costs in the home. I think there's a tendency to print and highlight.
Right. Okay, do we have any, so the first book we're considering here is Introduction to the Practice of Statistics, 6th edition. Publisher is W.H. Freeman and Company. Do we have any questions on this specific book for Ms. Bosch?
Please don't ask me to solve the problem.
Yeah.
I just looked at some of those formulas.
Can I have a motion to accept this new statistics book, Introduction to the Practice of Statistics? Motion by Mr. Bowers.
Second.
Second by Ms. Vaca. Any further questions?
I think just for those who haven't had to buy college books and may be surprised to know that that book is $124
For one book.
for one.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Next book.
Next book is the biology.
Motion to approve the biology book.
Biology book.
Yeah.
I have a motion by Mrs. Vaca to approve the biology text. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Do you want to make any specific comments on this book, Pam?
Just that it flows with the Glencoe, which has been very rich in resources for students and has the National Geographic partnership.
We have a motion and a second on accepting the Glencoe Science Biology from Glencoe McGraw-Hill, copyright 2009. Any further comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
And last but not least is the grade 4 and 5 social studies program, the Teachers Curriculum Institute materials. I find it to be a very exciting program. People who work with me now know that history was my background and what I taught when I was in the classroom. This really tries to bring it to life and get the kids out of their seats and get them moving and give them every physical experiences of social studies. The lesson that's in there is a fun one. They try to get kids to understand the nuances of the revolution by starting them off with a physical tug of war, getting them up and out of their seats and doing the push and the pull to understand the give and take on both sides. And then it leads them into the information gathering and has to draw conclusions. It's really a program that's trying to target the higher order thinking skills. Teachers were very excited about it. I mean, we looked at more traditional textbooks, and this one really isn't just a textbook. The kids won't be sitting down and reading history to remember it. They're going to be trying to give them experiences of history to get them to understand the deeper concepts behind it. So we're very excited about it. I'm asking actually that you approve the Teachers Curriculum Institute materials, and we're going to be purchasing for next year the Social Studies Alive Elementary Core Regions and America's Past. Regions is 4th grade with a geography focus, and America's Past is 5th grade. They can also be used interchangeably. So we're going to be looking at a couple of sequencing options for that.
So tonight we're just voting on the Teachers Curriculum Institute?
Basically, it's similar to when we said okay to Houghton Mifflin. They've got pieces in there for all of the grade levels. So in a couple of years down the line, we can come back and
look at materials for grades 2 and 3 and they match our frameworks, we'd like to be able to have the option to buy under the umbrella of TCI.
Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the Teachers Curriculum Institute Grade 4-5 Social Studies program? Motion by Mr. Bowers, second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Barker. Any other questions?
I just
Mrs. Davis?
you just have a minor reservation. I mean, I do like how they really try to, get kids thinking about it in less conventional ways. But I'm looking over the chapter headings, and under Chapter 10, Growing Tensions Between the Colonies and Britain, read about the many actions Britain took to anger the American colonists during the 1760s and 1770s. Decide for yourself whether or not Britain acted like an unfair, overly strict parent when it repeatedly punished the colonists. That's... I realize it's an American history textbook, and I applaud that it's, it's like 6 chapters before you even get to the first English settlements. There's a lot about the Native American regions and why the Europeans came over in the first place, and how the European arrival affected the native peoples. But that, I don't know, that just jumped out at me as a little...
Xenophobic.
Yes!
Thank you, Pat.
It's ancient history. No, it's not ancient history. It's, I hear what you're saying.
I don't know. It does seem like a less than perfectly neutral statement to be making. So, I mean, I will vote to approve this, but, just with reservation that I hope the teachers will take a really good look
Yeah,
at
and
the
I
material.
don't
and
know that
how
I
to
would
present it.
classify it as xenophobic as much as I would, it's an attempt to use one of the skillful teacher tools of relating it to an experience in the students' lives. And the 5th grader will have trouble understanding the abstract concept. So they're trying to identify it with something he or she may have experienced themselves. I don't think it's an attempt to.
No, it just comes off sounding a little strange.
I was thinking it was putting down poor parents.
That's what my
That's where I
concern
thought
was.
you were going with that.
What's unfair about being overly strict?
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. One quick comment. I understand that there's been quite a bit of interest in the novel writing course at the high school. How about the other courses? Do you know for the new courses what kind of interest we've gotten?
Statistics is going to run, that's why we're here with that, and the SAT course has enrollment, what was the other one?
Algebra 1 Part 2, obviously that's
That
going
has
to
to
run.
run.
So everything,
Speaking, I'm not certain, but I'll know as of Friday, but
Okay.
all of the others have people.
great. Okay, thanks, Pam.
You're welcome.
Okay.
It's hot behind
You
me.
should see my Senate's Queen Victoria. It's unbelievable.
Really? Are you?
Did you know that? The entire Romanov family was descendants of Queen Victoria. Yeah.
That's why they had the blood disease.
Huh?
That's why they had the blood disease.
Yeah.
You won't do it.
Is that what it was? It's interesting. The entire royalty of the art.
Okay, next, we have Dr. Katz is here, principal of the Hood School, and members of the Hood School Council to present their improvement plan. So if you'd like to come up, please.
Good evening. So I want to apologize first for not being here right at the start time of school committee meeting, but going back to the building at 6:15, I walked in and there was a situation that was sensitive and needed my attention, so I didn't have to answer the phone, and here I am. But I have members of my school council here tonight. These are parent representatives and community representatives. So Lisa Santilli is our community representative. She's a former parent. Denise Constantino is a parent, and Sharon Callagher is a parent. 2 teachers who are members were not able to come tonight. But we keep the school council really involved because my hope is that to keep them involved in everything that's going on, they can help me make informed decisions about the school and also bring to me feedback from the public. So that being said, we're all going to share a little piece of what we've done this year and related to our goals. So each of us is going to take a goal and just talk about little key events that relate to that goal. So we'll start with goal number 1.
Our first goal was to maintain strong relationships and partnerships with the school committee, the school parents association, school councils, school staff, and the school community at large. We did this we hosted the school committee meeting in February, and this included a showcase of the grade level curriculum and activities so we could define how it is good at the hood. And the school committee members were invited to visit the school at various points during the year and see what a real school day is like. We also did this, the Hood School faculty contributes to the PA newsletters, which are generated each trimester. And the Hood School staff collaboratively works with the PA to complete enrichment projects outside of the curriculum, such as the Square One Art project and the student popsicle sticks for the auction. And they also did art projects to donate to the auction. And these activities enhanced our curriculum, particularly this year when we had limited art class time. The grade level work and projects are always presented at PA meetings every month. And the school council has generated newsletters and keep parents up to date on Hood happenings at the Hood. And Dr. Katzos uses email to communicate with the parents and all the Hood School community, sharing the information that needs to be generated, and the alert system is used whenever weather or other emergency information needs to be communicated.
That's a question on constant contact, because that's a great tool. And is that, Dr. Trout, do we cover that in our budget in terms of school expenses? How does that work? Is that the PA?
It's actually a PA.
Okay, because that's a great, it's a great tool.
Yeah. $29.
It really is. It's great.
We used it today, in fact, when I had to announce that I was ending field day early because of the weather. It was just too hot out.
Yeah.
So we use it almost on at least a weekly basis.
That's great.
Okay.
Goal number 2.
Goal number 2 is to continue to provide a safe learning environment for all the children, and we've tightened up the security by being more aware of visitors entering the building and assuring that visitors have to stop and sign in. We moved the sign-in book closer to the school secretary, Mrs. Zaropoulos, so that if she sees someone come in that she doesn't know, she has them show identification. And also even anyone who's walking around the building, if they don't have a badge, even if it's someone who's at the school all the time, the teachers send them back to pick up a badge if they aren't wearing one. Walker dismissal procedures have improved as students are escorted into the cafeteria by grade level lines. It's enforced that parents are let into the cafeteria through one door at 2:45 when the students have just arrived and have gotten settled. By asking the parents to wait until 2:45, teachers have best been able to organize and settle the students. Parents are also now exiting through a different door to increase the flow and the speed of exiting. There is a concern about dismissal, and students still tend to vanish into the parent group that awaits, so teachers have talked about having a more supervised procedure next year, such as holding clipboards with names of the walkers on them. The morning drop-off has been supervised by the paraprofessionals who are out there every morning at 8:20, and it's so fantastic. It's like a valet service, and it's so much safer because you pull up, the parents don't have to get out, they open the doors, we say goodbye to our children, and in they go, and they're there in the rain and the snow. It works really, really, really well, especially when you drive kids to school in your pajamas on. You don't have to go. This year, due to the demands of the schedule, because of the impact of the budget cuts, lunch bunch groups with the school psychologist have been sacrificed so that the psychologist could spend time in the classrooms instead to give entire classrooms a break from the long days. These will be resumed next year, the lunch bunch groups. In terms of anti-bullying activities, our student council was able to preview bullying movie clips called Stop Bullying Now from the Department of Health and Human Services with Dr. Katzos. They then generated comprehension and discussion questions for their peers. They then shared the movie clips with the classrooms, and they led discussions. This prompted one of the 5th grade teachers to allow his group of 5th graders to create their own skits. These will be videotaped and shared with other classrooms in the same format. That's it.
Question on the bullying. I know these kids are younger, but are you getting into the online bullying at this age? On the instant message and all? Because some of these kids I know are on these things in 4th, 5th, 3rd, even 3rd grade. So I was wondering if that touched on that at all.
There haven't been any issues that have come to our knowledge, but we obviously talk to kids about internet safety because within every classroom, they're starting as young as 1st grade. Getting online, learning how to use instant message. So.
The third goal